Hello guys, welcome to my another video. This is all about the chapter 2, configure a network operating system summary. So in this video we have to you are bound to listen for the summary of chapter 2. So operating system, it is composed of first iOS bootcamp. It's composed of Cisco iOS and Cisco iOS access, navigate the iOS, and the command structure. This is composed of operating system. First of all is the shell, where user interface that allows the user to request a specific task from the computer. These requests are managed either through the CLI or GUI interface. Next one is the kernel. The kernel is used to communicate between the hardware and software of a computer and manages how hardware resources to meet software requirements. Next one, the last one is the hardware. The hardware is the physical part of the computer, including underlying electronics. So the access methods for this is the Cisco iOS can be implemented with no configuration. Instill data between connected devices by connecting two PCs to a switch. This PC will instantly have connectivity with one another. The CLI access options. Number one is console. The advantage of using a console port is that the device is accessible even with no network. Services have been configured, such as when performing an initial configuration of the network device. When the performing of a computer running terminal emulation software is connected to the console port of the device using special cable configuration commands for setting up the switch or router can be entered on the computer command. Next one is the SSH. SSH is the recommended method for remote management because it provides secure connections. SSH also provides encrypted password authentication and transport session data. This keeps the user ID, password, and the details of the management sessions private. Most versions of Cisco iOS include an SSH server and an SSH client that can be used to establish SSH session with the other devices. And the last one for this is the telnet. Best practice dictates to use SSH instead of telnet for remote management CLI connections. Cisco iOS includes a telnet server and a telnet client can be used to establish telnet session with other devices. So the last one in this is the command structure. The primary command modes is the Cisco iOS modes in operation. The number one is the user exec mode. This mode has limited capabilities but is useful for basic operations. It allows only a limit it allows only a limited number of basic monitoring commands but does not allow the execution of any commands that might change the configuration of the device. The user exec mode is identified by the CLI prompt that ends with a symbol with the greater than symbol. Privilege exec mode. The next one is the privilege exec mode. To execute configuration command, a network administrator must access privilege exec mode. Higher configuration modes like global configuration mode, can only be reached from privilege exec mode. The privilege exec mode can be identified by the prompt ending with the sharp symbol. So the next one is the basic iOS command structure. The Cisco iOS devices supports many commands. One of these is the keyword and also the argument. Keyword is a specific parameter defined in operating system. Next one is the argument. Argument is not predefined. A value of variable defined by the user. So the basic iOS command structure is composed of the prompt, command, space, and the keyword and argument. Now, next one is the basic device configuration, which is composed of the hostname, limit access to device configuration, and save configuration. The guidelines, the chapter 2 consists of guidelines in choosing a proper hostname. So next one is the device name and secure device access. The use of a weak and easily guessed password continues to be a security issue in many facets of the business world. So the next one is the limited device access. Securing administrative access, secure privilege exec mode, secure exec access with a password, secure remote telnet access with a password. Also, the password choosing guidelines is consist in chapter 2. Next one is the Cisco iOS operating system and purpose of iOS. And let's go into the IP addresses. IP addresses. The use of IP addresses is the primary means of enabling devices to locate one another and establish end-to-end communication on the internet. Each device on a network must be configured with an IP address. Examples on an end device are listed in Figure 1. Oh no, enlisted. So, next one is the interface and ports. Network communications depend on an end user's interface, networking devices interface, and the capables of to connect them. Each physical interface has specifications or standards that define it. The cable connecting to the interface must be designed to match the physical standards of the interface. Types of networks media include twisted pair copper, fiber optic cables, coaxial or coax cables, or wireless. Next one is the configure app. IP addressing. Number one in this is the manual IP address configuration for end devices. In order for an end device to communicate over the network, it must be configured with a unique IP version for address and a subnet mask. IP address information can be entered into the device manually or automatically using dynamic host configuration protocol, or also known as DHCP. Next one is the automatic IP address configuration for end device. Um, ano, Next one is the interface addressing verification. In the same way that the use of commands and utilities like ipconfig to verify PC host network configuration, you also use commands to verify the interface and addressing setting of intermediary device like switches and routers. Next one is to end-to-end connectivity test. The ping command can be used to test connectivity to another device on a network or website on the internet. So that's all for the chapter 2 summary, and thank you for watching. Stand by and wait for my chapter 3 summary also. Thank you and bye.